Hello, everybody, and welcome again to another episode of the Risk Matrix with Mr. James Junkin.
Roll Tide, it is so good to be here. It's conference season, baby.
Summer training is going on for football, too.
Yes.
Mini camps.
I can't decide what I'm more excited about.
Okay, well, let's get excited about conference season first,
All right.
because they're not playing any football games.
Not yet.
And the other host here is Dr. Martin, but we're going to let James lead this one today because James is going to these conferences. He's actually getting a couple awards, and he's got some great tips, as do I, on how to manage your conference schedule, apart from going out and doing your networking and whatnot at the evening venues. So welcome to the Risk Matrix. We are powered by Veriforce and we are sponsored by James.
Veriforce's team that will be at the ASSP Safety 2024 Professional Development Conference and Exposition coming up August the 6th through the 9th. So I look forward to seeing you there at the Veriforce booth. The Veriforce booth is 1415, and we have a number of the Veriforce team, both staff and members of the Strategic Advisory Board that'll be speaking at the event. So headlining will be Dr. Daniels. The title of his presentation is Psychosocial Hazards or Real Hazards. That will be August the 9th at 7:30 a.m. located in room 501. I'll be speaking in a panel entitled Sharpening Your Skill Sets, Becoming an Influential OSH Leader in the Changing Workplace. That will be Wednesday, August the 7th from 3 to 3:30 p.m. It'll be in the Career Advancement Center, Exhibit Hall booth 784. 784. So come check us out there. Craig Scott, Vice President of Product, Worker, and Worksite Compliance for Veriforce, will be speaking on Veriforce Worker Pass, Empowering Supply Chain Safety. That'll be August the 6th from 2 to 2:10, little 10-minute portion located in the Colorado Convention Center, lower lobby F near the ASSP registration area. Then we'll have another flash session by Craig, August the 8th at 9:45 to 10 a.m. Local time, and it'll be in the Convention Center Expo floor, booth 2151. And then a good friend and colleague, Josh Ortega, is the Vice President of Safety, Sustainability, and Procurement, will be presenting the importance of competency-based driver training in oil and gas. That will be Wednesday, August the 7th, 3:45 to 4 p.m. local time. Again, that's in the Colorado Convention Center Expo floor, booth 2075. So come by and see us. Veriforce booth 1415. We'll be there all week. I look forward to meeting old friends and making some new ones. I'm super pumped.
Okay, so let's roll on that. That's a lot of information, James. So let's talk about conference season. The first one coming up, as you said, is ASSP. It's the world's oldest professional safety organization, founded in 1911. It's got about 39,000 global members, and it's focused on occupational safety and health, right? It's I don't know if it's the biggest conference, but it's one of the two biggest conferences that are coming up here. And James gave you a mouthful there. I think they have an app that you can download. Okay, that they'll tell you how to download when you sign into that conference, and you can follow and search for these people from Veriforce that are presenting. So give us some tips, James. So, you're the big conference goer.
Well, I love going to conferences, meeting, networking, learning, growing as a professional. But I thought today, since this episode will air at the time the conference is just beginning, to give some conference tips, right? There's ways to go about doing your conference that will have a successful outcome. Then there are ways that complicate things, right? And so when I first started going to conferences many years ago, I didn't have successful tips. These are sort of lessons learned when you attend these conferences from doing things wrong. So I would say you need to prepare to walk a lot.
Oh my gosh.
So,
Yes. The conference room floor, the vendor floor is huge, and most of these centers are convention centers. I think, is it this year it's in Colorado?
Colorado, Denver at the
So the
convention
Colorado
center there.
Convention Center is fairly big, and sometimes you're running from one session to the other session, and it's way across the conference room setup. So bring comfortable shoes, okay,
Comfortable
and be
shoes are a
prepared to
must.
walk.
I know we all want to look our stylish, but look, comfort is a must. There's nothing worse than running around in a pair of dress shoes that hurt your feet, right?
Yep.
One year I ran out of business cards. This is a
Not a
huge
good, not a
networking
good thing.
opportunity, not a good thing. So if you think you have enough business cards, order some more and bring them with you. Bring them with you. We're going to talk about planning the conference itself, but give yourself a chance to take some short breaks, some time out.
Yep.
All of us that are attending are safety professionals. Understand nobody at work cares that we're at the conference, right? We're still getting emails,
Yep.
we're still getting phone calls, we're still getting text messages, things of that nature. So I would say plan some breaks in there just for some downtime to answer those things. You don't want to have to get
Stay
up,
hydrated.
get
Stay
out,
hydrated.
stay hydrated with
Yeah.
water.
With water. Now listen, there are a lot of vendors that give out free food, free drinks. I think one year when I was with the BCSP, they had water and soda and stuff that they were giving out. So look for those things. I think they also put them out on the conference room floor. Stay hydrated, take advantage of those snacks and things that they put out, because it is a long day when you're running from one place to the other.
It's an extremely long day, and I made this mistake many years ago at an ASSP conference. I'd go back to my room and try to work for a little bit, go back, run down there, do professional development, run back to my room and work. Look, don't hide out in your room. Meals are important. The social events are important. A lot of vendors are having social events that you might want to go to. There may be people there that you want to network with. I highly recommend that you sort of coordinate some times. There's going to be thousands of people here. And, if you don't coordinate.
Stick to people you know. Right?
Yeah, right. If you're not coordinating and setting up, hey, man, can we have lunch on this date? Or can we catch dinner here? If you just say, hey, I'll see you at the conference, odds are you won't. They're just thousands of people. I'd like to talk about this from your perspective. Okay. A lot of people come to these conferences and they miss out on a lot of opportunities because they don't have specific goals set for what they want to accomplish at the conference.
Mm-hmm.
So how would you go about advising people at different stages of their career on what goals they should be setting to get the most out of a PDC?
So I'm gonna approach this in a way that sometimes people tell people to study for tests, right? You're gonna look at the blueprint of what you know, right? And take a look before you start walking the floor, before you get into things. Take a look at things that you are curious about in your own career. Don't go to things that you already know. No, go to things that are cutting edge. Go to things that are gonna stretch you a little bit, that it's going to make you think. There are a lot of very mundane topics that go on at these conferences, but if you're really diligent and looking through the program, you're going to find some things that are going to be surprising, that are going to advance your skill set. So look at, even if you want to use like the CSP blueprint or the CHST blueprint as something, look at your gaps and fill those gaps with presentations by experts that are speaking at the conference. I think that's the best tip I can get.
A lot of, like you mentioned earlier, ASSP 2024 will have an app. Download the app and be thinking about the sessions you want to attend, where those sessions are, and where the next one that you would like to attend is. Sometimes it's hard to get from one side to the other. many cases, there's multiple sessions going on at the same time with powerful speakers, and you want to, they're are opposite of each other. You want to hear them both. You're going to have to make some choices, right? So,
Well, let me ask you this, James. Does ASSP now tape the conference or have the conference on demand
no, there's
after?
not on demand. That was something that happened during the COVID year and COVID year only. But there will be some highlights from that, I think, available on the website. More of that to come from ASSP after the conference. But, you know, make certain that you have a plan.
Yeah.
Because it's too late
So
once you sit down in a session, say, well, what's coming up next? I might want to check that out. You know,
yeah.
you're going to have to plan out your event and in order to get the maximum amount out of it. So if you can get there early and get seats near the front, sometimes there's Q&A with some of the top safety professionals that are out there, most recognized safety professionals in our industry. You may have this burning question you want for that person. If there's Q&A, be close to the front so you can get recognized.
So this one may sound dumb, but I've been at the conference several times when I didn't have a charger for my cell phone or my other devices, right? And they're getting better. They're getting better about this, right? I've seen some conferences where they put portable charging stations and then you got to stand there, you can lock them up or whatever, but bring a portable charger, not just the charger that plugs into the wall, because finding a plug to plug into is going to be really hard in the conference area. So get one of those portable chargers, do yourself a favor, juice that thing up and have it available to keep your cell phone fresh.
So I'm kind of old school. The Veriforce notebook. You don't have to necessarily have a Veriforce notebook, but have something you can jot some notes down in as you're attending these sessions, or people that you want to follow up with. Hey, I met this vendor. I like the product they have. I want to remember their name and their contact information. So if they don't reach out to me, I can reach out to them. I think that's great information.
Quality over quantity.
Absolutely.
Right. There are, again, this just goes back to what we've said a couple times already on the show. You need to look at the program, look at the app before the conference begins. So if you're flying in on the night before, take some time, get up early, plan your day. There are some powerful speakers, as James said, and then there are some that really are not going to advance your professional development much. That's the whole point of the conference, is to learn new things and to learn about new products and really kind of put some
everybody's
oomph
at
into
a
your
different
career.
point in their career, right? So, you know, you may want to go see someone related to HOP because you're thinking about integrating that into your safety management system. Or you may be an expert in HOP and you need to go see something else. So I think the lesson is pick the sessions that help you develop and not just go in there and listen to Noah tell us about the flood, right? I want to get the maximum amount of value out of these conference sessions, these breakout sessions that we have.
No, so we've talked about, and we've talked about some general stuff, okay, and there are other general things like layer your clothes, plan for the weather, do all those kinds of things. So because ASSP is the biggest conference coming up right now, and it's before the NSC conference in September, you're the ASSP guy. What are some ASSP specific tips?
Well, I think what can be for first time goers or even veterans, visiting the exhibit hall is overwhelming. It's overwhelming, right? And you can spend hours just wandering around the exhibit hall. And I love going to the exhibit hall. But if there are specific needs that you need, locate on the map, either on the app or they'll have something there that you can hold in your hand. Know which booths that you want to most definitely visit and have a plan to visit those booths, right? Rather than just wandering aimlessly through there because it can be somewhat overwhelming. Later in the week, I do that, right? I go later in the week and just walk around, meet new people, get new ideas, see what new products and technology are out there. But earlier in the week, I like to know, I want to go to this booth.
And
One,
talk
because
about
it
this
developed me
product. Right.
professionally, and they got a new product I would like to look at. And number two, I like to visit the booths that got the coolest swag.
And you'll
Okay?
find those booths, right? Because people will be gathered around trying to win prizes and do fancy things.
Absolutely.
Attend the general session, right? I've been to these conferences and they usually have keynote speakers that are crazy good. They may not be specifically safety related, but they usually have somebody of note that comes to the conference and talks about their career as it relates to the safety profession or to risk and safety kind of as a hallmark. And I totally recommend going to that because you're not going to see those kind of speakers anywhere else.
Absolutely. And I think you should make time to visit the Career Advancement Center, which is going to be in booth 784. I'll be speaking on a panel in that booth 784. Again, that will be August the 7th between 3 and 3:30 p.m. with a great bunch of fabulous safety professionals. And we'll be talking about the topic, becoming an influential OSH leader in a changing workplace. So that's just one of the sessions that's in there. There are a lot of different other sessions planned throughout the conference. Come by, check out the Career Advancement Center, because we all want to get better at our job, right?
Yeah. So let me give a pitch for this, right? The ASSP Foundation. The ASSP Foundation does a lot of things, but one of the really good things that they do is that they give scholarships, funded scholarships, and scholarships that come from donations to the ASSP Foundation to students in safety. Okay, and I can't say enough. I actually was a recipient of a lot of money from the foundation for scholarships for my PhD. I'm very thankful for that. And if you have a chance to give back, no matter how much, check out the foundation, be a part of it. If you got $5, give $5. If you got 100, give 100, because it brings money to go to students who are studying in safety, and they're very thankful, like myself.
I think that's outstanding. It's a good way for us to give back. None of us got to anywhere at any point in our career
On our own.
on our own. There are no self-made safety professionals. We depended on a lot of people to help us along the way. I know me individually. I can't thank the mentors that I've had enough, which sort of brings up the next portion, which is networking. ASSP is going to have formal network sessions, and then you'll have, informal sessions where you can meet people and schedule times to get together and go have a drink or go to a ball game or something. Take advantage of that and meet new people. This is a great time to meet new people that can expand your network base and maybe expand, your own professional development journey. That to me, outside of the speakers, I definitely want to go see. That's one of the most valuable reasons to come to a
Working.
PDC.
It's all about the networking, and I totally agree with that. I think, if you're an introvert, you like to stay in your room, you like to stay to yourself. I understand that, but when you go to the conference, you have access to some of the really best safety professionals that are in the profession in the US and sometimes internationally. There are a lot of international events that you can attend, common interest groups that you can attend. And I really think, if you're looking to learn more, do more, grow as a safety professional, you really got to get out there and you've got to talk to people and connect.
I think another aspect, because I like to read, is the ASSP bookstore, typically found in the Expo Center. A lot of published authors, there's a lot of titles with authors you'll recognize their names, very frequently speakers at a lot of different conferences. Go check it out. See if there's something you can add to your library while you're there.
Okay, let's talk about learning, right? They have a professional development quiz, right, to earn certification points. Take advantage of the professional development quiz. I'm not really sure how that's going to be wound probably into the app or whatnot, but take advantage of that, because recertification points for all of these certifications that we've got, the CSP, the MSP, the CHST, all of the certifications that are out there, you can learn something. You can nail home the lessons that you've learned with taking the quizzes, and you can get the recertification points, which are valuable as you grow as a professional.
Now, the next one is about engaging speakers after sessions. Let me say this as someone who speaks a lot. Sometimes I can't get to everyone who wants to talk to me. And then I have my schedule and it gets crazy, right? So get some contact information, if nothing else. How do I contact this person if I can't engage with them individually post a session? A lot of times I'm moving from one session to the next session as a speaker, or you're doing the same thing. You've got to get to the next one, get some contact info. A lot of people allow you to connect with them on LinkedIn, hook them up on LinkedIn. Be respectful of their time.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't get offended if someone doesn't get back to you immediately. You know, as someone, this happens to Dr. Martin and I frequently. We get messages over LinkedIn all day long, and it may take me a week to get back to it. It's not that we're being disrespectful.
But you get there.
Just
right?
To understand, we also have lives, businesses to run, etc. So do the other speakers that are there. Eventually, they will get back to you. So
I can tell you as a speaker, right, as a former speaker, and I know you do this too, that you really do want people to engage with you, because the collegial conversation leads to kind of aha moments sometimes in what we're presenting on. Somebody may have something to add. So I'm really open to seeing like what you can add to what I said. And so, you know, what James is talking about, you really have to dig in and take that chance and contact people to get more information or to engage them in conversation. You might know something that could add to their body of knowledge too.
Absolutely. Remember, this is a huge networking opportunity. We're all there sharing. I'm going to skip down our list a little bit and talk about the innovation station. I love the innovation station. You know, after this episode, our next episode is going to be with Alan Rice, a member of our strategic advisory board, who is an expert in AI and generative AI. And I anticipate there being as much as AI and generative AI is in the news. Don't know this for sure, but there are probably some technologies there to be showcased in the innovation station. So go check that out while you're there.
Plenary sessions. Let's talk about plenary sessions, James. Do you know what plenary sessions are going on this year? Or?
I don't.
Plenary sessions are really forward-thinking, kind of sometimes panel discussions or debates, and they really kind of dig into safety theory a lot of the time. So if you have a chance to get to the plenary sessions, go to those. These are leaders in their fields in theoretical safety, and you know, sometimes these things blow your mind, right? And it's really good to see people debate thought leadership within the profession.
I love a good debate. So I enjoy the
You'll get it
session.
there.
Now, as far as networking strategies are concerned, is there a safety professional not on LinkedIn?
I mean, I think maybe some people are not on LinkedIn, but most people going to the conferences are either on LinkedIn or should be there.
So social media is a big deal in networking. So
Instagram.
hashtag ASSP 2024 in your post. That way your other conference participants will show up in their feed. That also works on Instagram, Facebook, all the other social media platforms that are out there. I would strongly suggest, you know, that if you think you see something pretty cool there and you want to post it on social media, or you like the speaker, tag that speaker, but don't forget hashtag ASSP 2024. And if you're attending and you're looking for things that are going on, check out hashtag ASSP 2024 to see what other conference participants are enjoying.
Okay, you're going to have lots of opportunity to be in roundtable discussions, to participate in common interest groups. This just goes back. I mean, this is a common thread here in what we're talking about, James. Get involved. There are lots of opportunities to get involved. There shouldn't be a time, unless you're really tired and you got to go back to your room and lay down, because it happens. There shouldn't be a time that you're idle. There are lots of things to do here. There are lots of events to go to. There are lots of discussions to participate in. So take a chance and do those kind of things. And if you're really new to the conference, they actually have a new attendee orientation that you can participate in. So look that up on the app and participate in that. They'll tell you all these things that we've told you and probably 100 others. So James, let's go from here. We said conference season, right? We said conference season. And so ASSP is coming up. What are the other conferences that are hallmarks in our field?
You know, I'll also be at the National Safety Council's conference down in Orlando in September. That is always a great one to go to. BCSP just recently had a virtual conference that was online. I thought it was pretty cool, very low cost, accommodates a lot of people's schedules, and then it's recorded. So if there's sessions that you didn't get to see because of work, or if you just missed it because it was conflicting with whatever, you have up to a month to do that. Now that time has passed, but look for that in the future. Look for that in the future. A lot of the same speakers, not always, but some of the same speakers that are at ASSP also speak at the BCSP.
Other conferences, right?
The National Safety Council.
So the National Safety Council is the biggest one coming up. And let's just mention a few others that happen throughout the year, because if you're new to the profession or you're looking for a sense of belonging, AIHA, which is the Industrial Hygiene Association, they have a conference. It's a big conference. They talk more about exposure and IH concerns. A gas conference, James, which you speak at probably 2-3 times when that occurs. So I guess the whole takeaway from this is you need to get involved with some of these organizations. They have big conferences. You can learn a lot, and you know what? It goes to your professional development, which we all need.
I know the National Association of Safety Professionals has a conference coming up in the spring of next year. I'd look for more information on their website and LinkedIn page on that. I know Dr. Daniels and I will be speaking from that event. I think it's out in California. But look, sometimes budgets don't allow you to go to everything. Pick what works best for you in your industry, in your budget, and plan what you're going to do when you get there. If you show up, you don't have a plan, and you're sitting in the general session, you're really hurting yourself and not getting the maximum amount. You're still going to be benefited by attending the conference. But if you would just follow these simple tips that Dr. Martin and I have laid out, these are success stories and how to make a conference experience a positive one. Because I didn't used to do it that way. I just showed up, got the paper, walked around like I'm lost.
Went to dinner, had some drinks.
That's right.
And you can do that, right? But do that in moderation. I mean, you want to network with your colleagues and have fun and do those things. But really, if you're going to the conference and you're spending the money, go get your professional development. Really, really enrich your career. So I think that should fill them up with tips, James. Why don't we wrap for today?
Absolutely.
And
I just want to say one last thing. A lot of members of the Veriforce team will be there. A lot of senior members of the team will be there. A Veriforce booth is 1415. Make sure that's right.
1415.
1415. I'll be hanging out at the booth sometimes. If you see me there and you're a listener of the Risk Matrix, let us know that. And until then, y'all keep bringing those workers home safe from high hazard jobs. After you go to our YouTube channel, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, check us out on Spotify. This episode will be playing August the 6th, the first day of the conference.
Which is right before the conference.
Absolutely. So we look forward to seeing you there. Thank you for following us. Thank you for listening to us. Always jump down in the chat. This gets posted on LinkedIn. Sometimes there are pretty cool comments about that. Don't be afraid to share. And if you're interested in being a guest, hit us up. we're always good for lively conversation. It'd be really cool to have an attendee at this conference on one of our episodes following the conferences in August and September. So thank you
Absolutely.
for what y'all do. Dr. Martin.
Thank you for bringing workers home safe from high hazard jobs, and roll tide.
Roll Tide.